Members of Sven Gali joining us to tell us about some breaking news that we're breaking right here on the show.
Uh-oh.
Welcome to the show. You're with John LeBang and Candy Gunn. Of course, that was a terrible introduction by me. It's been a long day, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, you've been working this. Actually, Dave could not join us because his Skype wouldn't let him on, so you're just stuck with me.
Well, that's all right. We're not. We're happy to have you on board.
And Callie.
Pardon me?
Callie. Yeah. Never mind.
Callie, oh yeah. Yep. She's busy eating pizza right now.
Cute little puppy.
That's what I want, but Candy wants she wants barbecue, so we're going for barbecue after.
Barbecue's good.
So what's this breaking news I'm hearing about?
Well, over the past couple months, we've been working on a cover song, and it's by a band from Canada called Triumph.
Oh.
Yeah. So what we've done is we turned it into a Sven Gali song, and we're just in the middle of filming a video for it at the studio where the Gilmore, the Triumph owns. And we're very excited about that. He's going to do a little cameo in the video. And that is going to be the first single from our upcoming album in January or early February. I'm not supposed to give the title of the album out.
That's fine.
But it's called Bombs and Battle Scars.
Oh, Bombs and Battle Scars. See, I had little notes on that, actually. I saw that.
I told you, so it's all good.
Alrighty.
It's better to ask for permission or forgiveness than permission anyway. It's just such a great title. We're all very excited about it.
And what does this album entail?
This album entails six new songs and 4 songs from the between 1991 and 95 of live recordings, like live acoustic recordings and a couple of demos. So stuff that's never been released.
You guys been around for a long time, right, as a band?
Yeah, since 1987.
I mean, that's just you went dark. Canada lose power?
Oh.
No, that's good, babe.
So these previously unreleased tracks, they were in the archive somewhere, and you just said let's bust these out.
Yep, our guitar player Andy he archives everything. He's an archive maniac, and there is a lot of music in the archives that the band demoed, and we feel that as a token of appreciation for our fans, that we'd release them. Now, originally we thought that we would just release a whole bunch of unreleased demos, but that seems like. When bands do that, it seems like a cash grab. It's like, oh, we don't have any new material, so we're just going to release some old stuff here. But we have lots of new material, and it's an exciting time. Have you heard of a band called Coney Hatch?
No.
Nope.
Coney Hatch is a legendary Canadian band, and I remember as a teenager going to see them open up for Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. And their bass player, Andy Curran, is he's a player up here in the industry. He's just amazing. And he's producing 2 of our tracks. One is called Monster. And that song is about a person who has a couple of personalities inside of him. And they're fighting within him. And sometimes the monster comes out, and when it happens, it's not a good thing. So yeah, it's a song about serial killer, basically. And the other song is called OG, and it's an insight into when the band was in Seattle recording, and to what they saw there and the street life. And it's a snapshot into back when they were there, 93, 95, I don't know. But yeah, so those are 2 pretty cool tracks, and we have a really strong ballad on this record. Again, it's a song called Nothing New, and it is about, finally meeting that person and saying, am I allowed to swear on the show?
I've been harangued because I let one slip, and I told her I couldn't do it. So you might as well. Everybody's going to do it now that I did it. She was gonna. You don't even know the bomb she wants to drop at the end of the show. So.
Hey, I told anybody who puts $100 up right now that I would say the F bomb, and that's just that.
That's awesome.
So go ahead.
So nothing new is about finding that person in your life and just saying, fuck it, let's go for it.
I like it.
You fan.
Yeah. And then we have Spellbound, the Triumph cover, which is crushing. I wish
really?
I could play it. Yeah, it's we made it Sven Gali, and the song it still maintains the song's integrity, but it's super heavy, and it's sort of in the vein like this new record is sort of between 3 and the first album. So it has a production value of 3, like the really big, thick Sven Gali sounds. But, OG and Monster and those songs have that sort of classical, hard rock feel of the band's roots. And, as a band, you're always growing, right? You're always trying new things. We tried a lot of new things with Now. And I think, Hurt's a straight up metal song, but Now, just like the arrangement in that song is, it's very, it's not a proper arrangement. You know what I mean? That's not, on paper, the song is totally wrong.
Okay.
But when we're jamming it, it felt good. And I think, the song speaks for itself. It's a great song. It demonstrates the depth of the band. And, Dave Wanless is, my favorite singer on the planet. I love the guy. He's a true friend. He's a great person. And, man, that guy, his voice gets better. It's very strange to hear. And in the studio, you can, when you hear him tracking, you hear, like, these cool inflections in his voice and stuff that sort of get buried in the mix. But, that's where the soul comes from. It's stuff that, is there, but you can notice it, but you can't really hear it.
Every once in a while, I'll hear a little bit of Paul Rogers kind of flowing through him. I'm not sure if that's an influence of his, but every once in a while, like, I hear a little bit of Paul Rogers in there.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave's, man, he's like a musical sponge, and his son is always playing new music for him, so Dave is, very informed and up to date, and is, there's some really good stuff going on out there.
Not many of the bands have coalesced for so long as a group as you guys have. How has everything changed since when you first put Sven Gali together to 2021?
We're not broke.
Nice.
We're not sleeping on floors. We all have families, and music is something that we don't have to do, but we have to do it.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yep.
When we're signed with Sony and BMG, I mean, you're in a studio and there's one person in there that has all of your dreams in his hand, and that there's a lot of control there. And that's detrimental for a lot of bands. And music shouldn't be about that. It should be about the people in the band enjoying each other's company. First of all, if you don't like someone in your band, you might as well get it over with and get rid of that person or quit.
Right.
Because when you go on tour and you're spending, likely as a new band, you're going to be living in the back of a van, sleeping on people's floors, which we did. We did all of that stuff. We went from doing that to, opening up for Def Leppard and having, a nice, shiny 53-foot long tour bus pull up in front of our house. So we've done the gamut. And, again, the thing that keeps us going is that we're lifelong learners. And I'm discovering things about drumming now that, I'm discovering that I really don't know that much, and that I have so much more to learn. And just, really digging back into, people like John Bonham, the early Iron Maiden days, Clive Burr. You don't think that Iron Maiden has a swing factor, but they do swing.
Yep.
It's a very, very crazy thing.
Somewhere in Time is like that, right? And that's what I'm thinking about. Yep.
And Nico McBrain, Les Binks, the guy who played on Unleashed in the East from Judas Priest. Just listening to a lot of drummers who I grew up listening to, but I thought I understood it, but now I understand it, and learning how to do those things, and just like I'm just very inspired and rejuvenated, and it's definitely comes through in the playing on the new record. Like again, I'm just speaking for myself, but everyone else is, we're all inspired. We want to do this. Like there's no controlling it. It's like, this is something we have to do. So we're, all of us are keeping on learning at the same time. And then I was lucky enough to get signed by Pearl. So I finally am creating the drum set of my dreams. And it was really interesting because, we're signed to a major label, and, I wasn't able to get a deal then. And then now, as we've been around for so long, and I've had the support of some really excellent drummers who've spoken on my behalf, and now I'm a Pearl artist. And the thing that's crazy about that is the record that got me into music was Kiss Alive 2.
Really?
Yeah. And when I was in grade 4, I had the record, and I opened up the book. It was like a giant book. And in the credits, it says Pearl uses Gibson guitars and Pearl drums because they're the best. And that's like one of my first memories of music. It's like, what are these Pearl drums? I've got to see them. And now they're making drums for me.
That's awesome.
It's like, it's surreal. It's surreal. So we're living a great life right now. We have our families. We have means of supporting ourselves, and we're involved in loving relationships with people who care about us, and we deeply care about them. And my fiance and soon to be wife is so supportive, and she's like, oh, you should get a new drum set. When a woman says that to you, you should put a ring on that right away.
Right?
Yeah. And like same with rehearsing. Go rehearse, and that's what we need. And all of our significant others are like that. So we have a lot of support, and it's great. We're in a really good place. RFL Records are great people over there. John, Doug, everyone over there. Sean McKenna, they're wonderful people, and they're very supportive. And I'm telling you, they've got a monster on their hands. This next Sven album is going to turn heads.
Well, even with the track Monster.
The Monster is going to crush people. It's such a great song. And it's evolved. Again, it's one of those things that I actually did the writing process. And I'm not a guitar player. I'm a campfire chord guy. So what I did is I basically we have my house has a bunch of guitars in it, and I took guitars that had different tunings in them, and I just played chords using those. So I don't even know what the chords are, but they sounded really good with the song and had a good bass line, and it caught the ears of Andy Curran, and then he's taken it to the next level where there's an actual guitar player is playing on it. But it's just one of those things. It's it was an accident, and it's a beautiful one.
Yeah, and it sounds like you guys are not slowing down at all.
No,
which is great.
No, we still have a full tank of jet fuel.
It's an inspiration to the younger bands, I think.
Yeah, well, my piece of advice that I could give to younger bands out there, there's, again, I'm telling stories, I'm showing my age, but in Canada we have a band called Rush, and
they're not very good.
They're not very good now. So we're at Much Music, which is the equivalent of MTV up there, and we're receiving an award, and we're in a room with Geddy Lee.
Oh.
And, I'm a huge Rush fan. And, I walked over to him, and, no one was allowed to go near Geddy, but I walked over and I said, hey, how's it going? What advice would you give for a young band? And without a hesitation, he said, have a backup plan.
Right.
And that's, coming from Geddy Lee. And that makes a lot of sense, because I know a lot of people who are, in their 50s and are still, couch surfing or doing that. So, we all had backup plans. This was our dream, and, there was no question in our mind that this was going to happen. But, eventually you're going to have to pay the bills. When you're 19 and 20 and you're living in the back of a van and not a worry in the world, man, that's, I remember those days, just, cruising across North America, just hanging out with people, and you don't care about anything. It's such an amazing feeling that only happens then. And then eventually, you're going to need a place to live, that, you might find someone and want to have a family. So that would be the first piece of advice. The second piece of advice I would have is that you need to learn how to get along. Being in a band is like being married to 4 or 5 other people. And, just imagine a normal marriage where, you have arguments. There's tons of things that go on in the band, like the business part of it, the marketing part of it. You don't like the key that the song goes to. You're pissed off because, you got a shitty hotel room. It's endless. So you need to have a baseline of, okay, what does this mean to me? What does this mean to us? And what are you willing to put up with? And you got to put up with a lot. For me, I wouldn't put up with drug addicts.
Right.
And that's why we all have successful lives, is because we didn't
waste it away.
We didn't waste it away. We had a great time. I'm not going to lie about that. And I'm very happy that cell phones weren't around back then. Yeah, it's like, be smart, be involved with people who you like and who you care about, and who you have a common vision with. If you don't have a common vision, you're just going to go in circles.
Exactly. Dan, it's been so great to have you on, my friend. Thank you so much, man. I mean, it's not only was it enlightening on the Sven Gali stuff, but we got to hear a perspective that a lot of the bands that are part of the Banger Music Hour don't have, and that's longevity and been through the ringer. And it's just amazing that you could take the time and spend with us.
This is Dan from Sven Gali. Thanks for listening in. Lots of love from Canada. Cheers.